Robert Mueller's investigation seems to be picking up momentum right now, don't you think? And moving closer to the president, there's a new urgency to protect the work of the special counsel, to protect Mueller himself. However, the Republican-controlled Senate, a co-equal branch, remember, meant to serve as a check on the presidency, once again has failed to act. A single Republican senator, Mike Lee of Utah, blocked a vote on a bill that would have protected the special counsel. Arizona Republican Jeff Flake, who's retiring, worked with two Democrats to force a vote on the bill. Here's what he had to say.
With the president tweeting on a regular basis, a daily basis, that the special counsel is conflicted, that he is leading so-called 12 angry Democrats and demeaning and ridiculing him in every way, to be so sanguine about the chances of him being fired is folly for us, I believe.
Well, Senate Majority Mitch McConnell, you know, it would be him, has shown little will to protect Mueller. Let's watch him in action.
This is a solution in search of a problem. The president's not going to fire Robert Mueller. We have a lot of things to do to try to finish up this year without taking votes on things that are completely irrelevant to outcomes.
Good morning, I'm joined by Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut and Mika Ouyang, Vice President of the National Security Program at Third Way. Senator, why does he have to have the crest scene behind him? Why does he have to have the two shepherds or the two sheep standing behind him, Thune and Barrasso? Why do they always stand there behind him when he talks, Mitch McConnell?
Do have a right to remain silent.
Okay, fine. What do you make of the fact that, you know, here's my big question. If Mitch McConnell's refusing to do anything to statutorily protect the role of the special counsel so he doesn't get thrown out like Nixon threw Cox out the door, do you have any confidence he'll do anything if Nixon does throw? If he does throw Robert Mueller out the door, he fires him. We gave him one. He's tweeting, "I fired him." The SOB. He's gone. What do you think Mitch McConnell will do anything then? Even do you think?
I think he would.
What would he do then?
I think it would take his membership, in effect, compelling him to act. You know, you don't wait to buy a fire truck until the fire department has to put out a fire.
But that's what you're saying he's going to do. He's waiting for the fire.
I think what we have in store is a Saturday Night Massacre in slow motion, strangling and suffocating the special counsel through his acting attorney general, Matt Whitaker, who has been hired for that purpose, in effect. And I think it will take the kind of outrage that we saw today on the floor of the Senate about the failure to produce Gina Haspel for a meeting.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. That's the whole question of why they're covering up the Saudi killing. Mika, this whole question of, you know, we three branches of government. Yeah. One of them's the U.S. Congress. It's supposed to put a check on executive power. In this case, the president's power to stop a prosecution of himself. They're not doing it.
That's right.
And Mike Lee, by the way, who is breaking with the president on the Saudi thing, is not breaking with him on this one.
Yeah, and he's claiming that, you know, Scalia had said that this statute for the special counsel is a constitutional violation. To protect the Constitution, you shouldn't do this. But what he's failing to recognize is the unique threat that this president poses to the Constitution.
Mike Lee or Mitch McConnell?
Mike Lee. Failing to recognize the unique threat that this president poses to the Constitution itself, to undermining the rule of law, to so many of the things that he's doing, where he's trying to really take onto himself powers that he really shouldn't have.
But aren't Republicans for limited government? Isn't that one of the prized principles of the party?
The Republican Party has betrayed a lot of its prized principles, like fighting a deficit, like states' rights and sovereignty,
deficit we got?
like basic integrity in government. And what we need is Republicans to stand up.
Meanwhile, two key Trump administration officials were on the Capitol Hill today where they defended Saudi leaders. What is going on? Secretaries Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, and Jim Mattis, Secretary of Defense, briefed all 100 senators and were asked about the murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
You've seen all the intelligence, presumably. Do you believe that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia ordered Jamal Khashoggi's killing?
I do believe. I've read every piece of intelligence, unless it's come in the last few hours. I think I've read it all. There is no direct reporting connecting the Crown Prince to the order to murder Jamal Khashoggi.
The two secretaries also tried to convince U.S. senators that America should continue to support the Saudi war in Yemen. In fact, the briefing comes a day after President Trump continued his vocal defense of the Saudi crown prince. He told, Trump did, the Washington Post, quote, take everything into consideration. And again, he totally denies it. And he denied it to me on 3 different occasions, on 3 different calls. And a lot of other people denied it, too. Did he do it? As I said, maybe he did and maybe he didn't. But in the meantime, Saudi Arabia is spending billions and billions of dollars in the United States, and I want them to spend it here. Bipartisan lawmakers were unconvinced. Hours after the briefing, 63 senators out of 100 voted to advance a resolution that would end U.S. support for the Saudi-led war in Yemen, which is starving all those people down there. Senator, again, what is the motive for this president and his obviously impressive cabinet members? There's nothing wrong with Pompeo, as I can see it, nothing wrong with Mattis. They are solid, sober-minded, smart, patriotic guys who are defending the indefensible. That prince did this. Why are they saying it didn't happen that way? Why are they refusing to listen to the tape? Pompeo says, I don't speak Arabic. I spent the 60s going to foreign movies. I didn't speak French or German or anything Italian, but I got the message. Why doesn't he want to listen to the tapes of what happened?
What is most
As if
significant?
he couldn't figure them out because he didn't know what was going on in Arabic. Come on.
What's most significant about that vote, Chris, and it implies the combination of skepticism and outrage that you
Bolton
just
said that. I'm sorry.
That 19 of my colleagues switched their votes from the last time that this resolution was before us. I co-sponsored this resolution back in March. We got only 44 votes. Today we got 63. Those 19 switches were the result of any lack of credible or persuasive explanation for the administration's position. In fact, it was a deeply costly briefing for this administration. The failure to produce Gina Haspel, the lack of credibility in the supposed explanation given by the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of State, the 2 highest-ranking administrative officials, was directly responsible for that stunning rebuke.
Mika, do you think the United States has some tribal connection with Saudi Arabia now? Like the Sunnis were against the Shias in Iran. So anything they do, we're on the side of. What is they're defending this murderous starvation of people in Yemen. They're defending the murder by this American journalist. They'll defend anything now. Why?
Yeah, you saw this administration go all in on Saudi Arabia early, despite all the terrible, erratic things that they've done under the leadership of the Crown Prince, and they just keep doubling down on it.
Is this the son-in-law?
The president's son-in-law?
Is Jared?
I think that
our
that's a
Crown
serious
Prince?
question.
Is he calling the shots?
I think that the American people don't know whether it's about Saudi financing of the Trump real estate empire or this arms deal is a serious problem.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.